Hey everybody, how are you? Can you hear me? Is it okay? Checking the news like. Ah, okay. Okay, so yeah, we're just having some technical stuff. Gonna be live.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, all good, all good. Can you just give me 1 minute just to set up
No
the
problem.
laptop and yeah, well, we can start.
Not a problem.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Sorry for the delay. You know, technical stuff. It's always like that.
It's okay. It's okay. No worries.
Yeah, 1 second, please. But you can hear me fine, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ah, okay. So yeah, I just need to increase the volume here, and yeah, we can start. Sorry for that. Yeah, 1 second, please. But you can hear me fine, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ah, okay. So yeah, I just need to increase the volume here, and yeah, we can start. Yeah. Okay. So it's pleasure to be with you guys. It's been it's been a while to organize this summer. We have long awaited for it. So in any case, for everybody who is online and viewing us, I'd like to introduce our partners from Chainport, and I suggest we start with a very short intro of what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve, what both projects are doing at the moment. So, yeah, maybe if you can please give us a short introduction to yourselves and to the project, and then I'm going to talk a bit about Credefi as well. And yeah, we can start from there.
Sure, Bill, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So what's up, everyone? My name is Bill. I'm one of the lead developers at Chainport. And yeah, I guess at Chainport, if you guys don't know already, we're a blockchain bridge. So our whole goal is to build ways for users to move assets and data across multiple chains easily, securely, and in a user-friendly manner.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Maximiliano. I'm the head of marketing at Chainport. So yeah, as Bill say, we were trying to build the most secure bridge around with full interoperability. Yeah, we have a lot of like unique features that set us apart of from other bridges, basically. But we can get more into detail later during the AMA. But yeah, basically, I'm in charge of all the marketing when it comes to Chainport.
Okay. Well, great. Thanks for the short intro. So I'm also gonna just give a short introduction to myself. So my name is Ivo. I'm the CEO of Credefi. We have worked with Chainport in order to be interoperable and become bridge our token through different chains. So our experience with them has been quite positive, and it's been great working with you guys. So just to get to the point and to the overall AMA. And what we're trying to achieve here is, have an overall discussion why bridging in DeFi is important, and in the meantime, just to explain why bridging TradFi and DeFi is also just as important as that. So maybe if you can just give us a short explanation as to why do you think bridging in blockchain, why do blockchain bridges have such high value to users and to the overall crypto adoption?
Yeah. So I mean, I think like the easiest answer is people don't want to pay high gas prices on Ethereum. So if anyone was trading on Ethereum, about a year, 2 years ago, when gas fees were crazy, you're paying like $100 a transaction. So that was, kind of an easy answer. But there's a lot of other reasons. So, especially with DeFi, to be exposed to other, protocols that are on other chains. Maybe one chain has AMM with deeper liquidity pools for a given token compared to the chain that you're on. Maybe a certain blockchain is like specialized to do some specific thing a lot better than another chain, and so you want to move your assets there so you can interact in that ecosystem. So I think there's a lot of different reasons why users want to bridge. There's a lot of different use cases, and I think really right now we're just kind of scratching the surface with what it means to be in this like multi-chain world.
Yeah, if I can add something, we're always talking with a lot of projects, with a lot of blockchains, like L1s, L2s, and one of the main reasons why, sorry, why this all these projects want to be like on every chain they can, is because they want to tap into new communities. So, for example, if you deployed your contract 2 years ago on Ethereum, back in the day, maybe Ethereum was like getting most of the traffic. Then BNB chain came, then Polygon, then so with all these new blockchains that started coming out, basically, new communities also starting getting together, and there's a lot of like you have a lot of Ethereum maximalists, but you also have like a lot of people who will only interact with BNB chain, a lot of people who will only interact with Polygon, Cardano. It can be EVM or non-EVM, but I think one of the biggest reasons is because like you basically if you have multiple chains that your token is like where your token can interact with, basically you have more communities that you can have your token exposed to. So I think this is like one of the main reasons is communities, and a lot of these blockchains have like really, really strong communities. So I think that's also like a big added benefit for all the projects that are using a Chainport and any bridge that is doing the same that we do. But I think that's really important. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for the insight. Maybe if you can, just share with the viewers and both our communities, what do you think is, can you just explain a bit more about the different bridges which you guys are using, and how they're also beneficial to the users, and how we have achieved this interoperability which everybody is talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a few different types of bridges. The bridge that we operate, first off, it's a custodial bridge. So we keep most of the funds secure behind like this MPC architecture through Fireblocks and Gnosis Safe. And so that's kind of one of our security mechanisms. But in general, bridges work by depositing tokens on one end and then minting a wrapped version of that token on the target chain. That's how most bridges work. It sounds kind of simple, but there's a lot of stuff in the middle that gets a little complicated. There's a lot of security concerns when you're moving from one blockchain to another. As you've probably noticed with a lot of bridge hacks recently in the past year or two. And then from there, there's different, features that the bridge can have. So like, for example, the tokens that we partner with, not only are you porting to some chain, but there's also liquidity on that chain as well for you to, buy and sell that token so you can interact in that ecosystem. So that's what we do with like our verified partners, to make sure that users aren't just like porting to a chain with a wrapped asset that doesn't do anything. And there's also the idea of rollups, which are kind of like a new and exciting thing. Zero knowledge rollups and optimistic rollups, and those allow you to interact with layer twos like Optimism and Arbitrum. And so I think the technology for bridges is really just scratching the surface. There's a lot of work being done to improve the technology and build more and more secure architectures. And so, yeah, it's a really exciting field to be in. And so, yeah, Max, you have anything to add?
No, I think most of the things you say are like the most important ones. But yeah, we're always exploring. Like right now, like most of the big EVMs, we already support them on Chainport. So this is like BNB Chain, Phantom, Polygon, uh, all the biggest ones we already support. Now we're exploring with non-EVMs. So from next week we will have Cardano as part of of Chainport. So this is our like first non-EVM. So if Credefi wants to be on Cardano, you will be able to be on Cardano in 3 minutes. So it's going to be the same with than the EVMs, but now to non-EVMs. So that's really exciting for us. So yeah, like it's all about exploring new ecosystems, and we think this is like we're just getting started, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you, and yeah, we're very excited about your developments and our future further partnership along the line. And we are also here at Credefi. We are thinking of new ways to work together, and there is a lot we can do. We have seen how effective the partnership has been so far, so we're very happy with what we can do together. And to be honest, like this whole discussion regarding bridging and just scratching the surface, as you said, it's quite a broad topic, because at the end of the day, everybody is talking about the same words, but it's very difficult to find projects and companies which are actually building and developing not only just hype, but also real value, which are bringing real value to the table. So yeah, we're very excited for what's to come, and yeah, also just for example, to give you an example as to our mindset is that we are also trying to create this bridge between traditional finance world and the decentralized finance world, and overall everybody says that these two universes at the end of the day they need to operate together, because that's how you create value. You need to have real world impact, not to be as a separate product or universe overall. So that's what we are trying to achieve, and with your help on the DeFi side, and with other partners such as other companies such as Experience, which are in traditional finance, that's the way forward. Partnerships and collaboration between projects and people overall. So okay.
I want to comment something on this. Like,
Sorry.
I want to comment something on connecting traditional and like DeFi and
Yeah,
traditional.
of course.
I do
I'm
think
just,
that.
if
Yeah,
you can speak up a bit.
yeah. Sorry.
Hello.
No, I just wanted to comment that what you guys are doing, I think
Yeah,
it's awesome,
sure.
and I do think that both like traditional and crypto DeFi or however we want to call it, they need to coexist, because you always need, like, I'm not like a decentralized maximalist or like DeFi maximalist, because I think that at the end of the day we also need some kind of centralization on some services. Like for example, you have your crypto and you want to get some cash. It's going to be hard to get like like face-to-face transactions for all the amounts. You always need like some kind of centralized service, or if you want money like coming to you in cash that you need to pay something, you're probably going to need a bank account. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, you can be 90% crypto, you can have any of the debit cards that a lot of services are offering, or you can do like F2F or P2P or however we want to call them, but it's going to be limited, right? So it's going to be limited, and there's always going to need, like, there's a need for this, like, centralized and decentralized services to coexist, which is why I think that yeah, I had this discussion a couple of days ago, and I think it's key for, and also for mass adoption, because like at the end of the day, like doing like face-to-face transaction for $1,000, you can do it, but for more, if you have a company, it's going to be hard. You need a bank account, and at the end of the day, it's all about I think, yeah, it's if we want mass adoption, we need this kind of connection between traditional finance and
yeah, I completely agree with you, and this is one of the core beliefs of of our team, and what we're trying to do is that at the end of the day, this transition which is following, because I do believe that at some point everything is gonna be up on the chain, and it's gonna be all very easy and accessible. But at the moment, right now, and for the foreseeable future, it still isn't so massively adopted that you can completely exclude, for example, centralization and regulatory issues which some companies and people might face. And this is why we have taken serious steps with our project, is to be compliant with all the regulations which are applicable in the European Union. And we do want to give companies this new doorway towards this new era, because small and medium enterprises, they're facing a lot of difficulties for financing. In the meantime, there is a lot of shortage of decent decent and safe havens to crypto investors, where they can actually be very, very secure that their investment or their loans will be protected in some way or another. So yes, for me personally, this centralization aspect is it might not sound too fancy at the moment, but it is a necessary evil, let's say, because especially in the early stages, you just need to be sure that your money is not gonna disappear, let's say.
For sure.
So yeah, that was a great discussion. What do you think about the market? I mean, overall, like, how do you foresee the next couple of months coming forward? What do you think is going to happen in the near future?
I mean, it's a great time to buy, right? Everything's on sale. Yeah, the market's been pretty tough, but I think looking even outside of crypto, like globally, we see like financial situation, not just in like in China, for example, the mortgage issues. In America right now, I just came back to California, and I had moved away from California a year ago, and I came back and prices were up like 30 or 40% on everything, on gas, anything you could think of. So we're in this like big inflationary period. Pretty much every stock that is popular is down. Every coin is down. There's issues in Eastern Europe. There's financial issues across the globe. So we're definitely in a down market. And so it'll be interesting to see if crypto like breaks away from the traditional market. If we start a bull run while the world is still in a bear market, that would be really interesting to see. But I think, it's kind of coming from an echo chamber too, because I'm a big crypto maximalist. I have my salaries in crypto. So like, listening to what I think is going to happen in the crypto world, I think it's also important to listen to the non-crypto people, the anti-crypto people, and see what they think and try to formulate an opinion. But I don't see Ethereum going away. I think, buying ETH is always a good bet. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go away. There's a lot of small projects that might not make it, a lot of Ponzi schemes that, came to light. And I think it's similar to like the early internet, 95% of those companies or 99% of those companies don't exist today. But, if you could find that Google or that, unicorn, then, the sky's the limit. So it'll be interesting to see where we are, not just in a few months, but where we are in 5 years or 10 years. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I actually completely agree with you. You know, it's also I think that it's a question of you know, I mean, the innovation part is very, very important, but it's also a question of, you know, as to which projects are gonna make it or not. I do agree we're currently in the bear market cycle. I do think that it's time to buy. I think it's probably the best time for the past like 12 years. Also in stocks, I'm not speaking only about crypto, but yeah, my idea is that, you know, it's very important to have you know, a corporate structure which pays attention to its cash flows, which actually generates cash flows and actually generates income. So, for example, you know, even your project is it's a great example of that. We from the start also, you know, like when we started thinking about Credefi, our core belief is that not only to bring solutions to, you know, to the average user, which are facing difficulties, but also, you know, to build the company in terms of, you know, real structure, real compliance, real cash flows, real revenue structure generation. And I think that this is very, very important, and this is what's gonna separate from, you know, the ones which actually make it through the bear cycle and which do not. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and I
But
would also
I
add, like,
agree
you know, even
with what you have said up until now.
yeah, I would also add, like, you know, even in a worst case scenario, you know, if ETH and Bitcoin go to zero in some alternate universe, blockchain technology is still, you know, going to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. We've already proven that blockchain provides real utility, whether it's enterprise blockchain, you know, for companies, you know, I don't know, doing warehouse stuff, or whether it's for like democratizing financial systems or making things more transparent. You know, that stuff isn't going away anywhere. So yeah, maybe your investments won't do well, but all the knowledge and experience that you gain interacting in the blockchain world, or if you have a job in the blockchain world, I think those experiences are invaluable and are going to be worth a lot in the future as well. So sometimes investments aren't just like buying and selling tokens or stocks. It's also like investing in knowledge and experience. And I think blockchain right now is a great place to do it. There's so many job opportunities and new things to learn. And yeah, it's an exciting space to be in.
Yeah, you know, I actually, I do believe that we have seen the right way. I mean, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, like they have shown, like overall the technology has been discovered in a broad sense, and now it's, you know, like it's the next step. You know, it's like I do like the comparison between, you know, like a typewriter and computer. It's kind of, for me it feels a bit like the same way. You know, there's this transition which is yet to come, and I think it's going to be very exciting to see it. Okay, I actually can see that there's quite a few questions building up on the chat. Maybe if you want, we can answer some of them. Okay, so let's go with Jason Spingler. Maybe what is Chainport based and registered? Okay, so
Okay, I can answer this one. Thank you for your question, Jason. So yeah, Chainport is was built by the Decentralab. So the Decentralab is an Israeli company. We have two offices, one in Tel Aviv and one in Belgrade, Serbia. We're around 50 people working for the company in different projects. Because not only Chainport, we have Tuki, Chainport, Tokens Farm, and Horde as part of the Decentralab. So the Decentralab is like the hub where, or the bigger company. So yeah, we're an Israeli company basically. But
okay.
we have people working from all over the world. But most of the team is in Israel. Yeah.
Yeah, decentralization, right? Beauty of you know, being able to work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so there actually the same question again from Jason. This is regarding Credefi. So yeah, Credefi. We're currently registered in Bulgaria, European Union. However, we just incorporated, due to regulatory purposes and for expansion and scalability of the project, we incorporated in Lithuania as well. We have quite a few team members, which are both from Bulgaria. We have some members which are from Germany, from England, and also from the US. So yeah. Okay, maybe next question. Let's see. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, so Guillermo Busto is writing. Sorry, I don't know if you already answered it, but I just joined. What is your thought of Chainport for the next 2 or 5 years from now? So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so the short term, within the next year, we're going to be obviously interacting with other chains, and we have Cardano next week. We're also going to we're also starting to build our stablecoin bridge. So this will allow users to bridge things like USDC, BUSD, and DAI across multiple chains, which we're super excited about. We think it adds a lot of different use cases for users, and so yeah, we're very excited about that. And then in the next 2 to 5 years, I think long term, we're looking to decentralize more of our security features. We're looking to build a more robust architecture. And so those are kind of like vague terms, but I'll do like a specific example is, so we have a lot of security monitors on our bridge, and they check that the assets that are deposited on the source chain equal all the assets that were minted across all the target chains. And if we see a discrepancy, we freeze the bridge immediately. And right now it's us running that monitor and us freezing the bridge if we see issues. But we want to decentralize that to so that other users or other projects can either monitor their specific token or a range of tokens and be incentivized to do it, and receive incentives when they find something wrong, and slash them when they say something's wrong when actually nothing's wrong. Sort of like how validators work in Ethereum a little bit. So decentralizing features like that, I think will be really great. And when I say like a more robust architecture, we're seeing a lot of like roll-up patterns emerge in the bridge space. So optimistic rollups and ZK rollups. And so getting into especially the ZK space is something I'm really excited about. And I think will create a more secure and better user experience just for bridges in general. So that's kind of where I see it, is us, kind of pushing the envelope technologically and also from a security perspective. So yeah, do you have anything to add, Max?
No,
Great.
I think the most exciting feature that is coming is probably, like as you said, like stable coins. I think this is like a great use case that we don't have yet at Chainport. So I think stablecoin support will change the game basically, because right now our biggest, like, we have altcoins, but we don't have like the biggest like Ethereum BTC or Wrap BTC in this case, or Wrap Ethereum or any of the stable coins. So this is like going to be like a game changer for Chainport. So we're working towards that. So yeah, I think what Bill said is more than correct for all the future that is coming for Chainport. And marketing wise, we're like, when it comes to marketing, we're working with a lot of projects, with a lot of blockchains. We have a lot of interesting news that are coming out in the next couple of weeks. Of course, we don't want to put everything together, so it makes sense just to have, like, we have a lot of things coming out. So it's just about timing and making sure, it has the best impact possible, right?
Great. So yeah, it sounds like you guys have been keeping busy, same as us. I think, me personally, I think that now is the best time, for building and development overall. And we have been so as well. We have been so both on the technological aspect, but also, on the business case aspect as well. And I'm saying that because actually there is a very interesting question here regarding, Credefi. It's from Veselina Bochukova. So, hey, Credefi, can you share something on the CeFi part of bridging? And what about the legal part and things in CeFi and TradFi and DeFi? Okay, so I would like to, point to that question because actually it's quite an interesting one. As I said from the beginning, the idea behind, Credefi was that, there is this gap and these deficiencies which you can see both in TradFi and in DeFi as well. So, for example, there is a lot of underfinanced small and medium companies, especially in the Eurozone area, but actually worldwide as well. It's just, in the Eurozone, if you operate with other people's money, you do need to be careful. That's why we're starting with the Eurozone. It's very, how to say it, it's secure, the government and the legal base is there. Anyway, so just to answer the question, basically, we decided that there should be a bridge. There should be a way that we can transfer, both. It's all a question about supply and demand, right? So if there is resources which are unused, for example, in DeFi because there isn't enough demand, and especially, in a bear market, you can see that, the APYs are going down. Everybody's promising in the beginning some crazy digits, but once the market turns red, everything is going down, right? So what we thought of is that actually, there is SMEs which are in the real economy. They're actually producing something. They're part of the GDP of the country and so on. And with them, it's a lot more stable, predictable. And I do think that people are looking for such kind of an investment or a return, let's say. So that's how it started. In terms of the legal part, it's basically you're transferring funds and resources from one sector to the other, but in the meantime, you're actually not only funding them, but you're funding the overall ecosystem, because once you're generating interest rates or APYs from the real economy, you're actually returning back fiat funds into the crypto sphere as well. So we're growing the ecosystem as well, and it's quite an interesting concept. More on the CeFi part, well, we have used different partners and also our experience as a whole as a team. We have been in the financial sector for cumulatively for more than 40 years, so we do have a lot of experience in credit scoring and credit assessment, and we have seen that this is missing. Overall, our model is that we're always basing our lending activity on this risk return basis, and it's all based on the credit risk of the borrower. And that's why we're also partnering with Experian, which are helping us and validating our risk models, and that's how we're doing it actually. So yeah, that was something which I wanted to pay attention to. Okay, maybe one more question. Just 1 second. Hey guys, thanks for the AMA. First of all, as we're talking, where do we see Chainport in 2 to 5 years? I'm also interested to know, where do you see Credefi in the same time frame? Okay, that's a great question. We are expecting to expand drastically in the next couple of years, but to be honest, we do see ourselves as first movers in the space. We do know that quite a lot of credit institutions and financial institutions are interested in the space as well. However, they're being already big, and they're quite mundane. They're not very flexible. It's very difficult to adopt in such a timely fashion and to be as effective as we are. And this is our edge. This is our one of our benefits from the CeFi, from the traditional finance world. And we do think that sooner or later people are gonna realize that this is the future in any case. Yeah, let me for something else which is more interesting. Sorry, Credefi base Chainport. Guys, also if you want to have a question or you want to answer something which you feel is important or you want to discuss, please feel free as well. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, I can tack on. I think one of the previous questions was talking about centralized finance and regulation and all of that stuff. So I think what we're doing at Decentralab as well is we're also working with politicians in Israel right now to kind of push like the crypto narrative. So we have lobbyists here that are kind of pro crypto, and we're working with them because regulations are coming. Depending on the country you're at, like that's for sure. And I think it's also important that certain regulations are in place. But also there's it's a double-edged sword. With too much regulation, we might start stifling innovation and preventing certain projects or certain developers from getting into the space and making a big impact. So I think it's also important to be like politically active in your area and see like who locally or nationally is running, what their opinion is on crypto, if that's something that you care about. I think in terms of like a political platform, that'll be more and more popular as crypto becomes more and more mainstream. And so, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how different countries handle this, what type of regulations we see. Maybe there'll even be some type of like global regulations, who knows? But, if you want to be part of that discussion and you want to, protect your funds and make sure that, blockchain is can be successful in the next, 5 to 10 years, I think it's also important to pay attention to what's going on politically where you're at.
Yeah, I completely agree that this is a very, very interesting topic, and it's very important for us, being part of the space and representing projects and business. Actually, they're not only projects; they're businesses, let's say. So we are, we do need to pay attention to the political views and to the overall regulation. But I do not think that it's always bad to have these regulations, because I think that for mass adoption in the next couple of years, they're gonna help, because people for some reason like they do like innovation, but they also want to feel secure. So if there is clear guidelines and clear regulatory framework, I do think that it's gonna help in the near future, because people are just gonna feel more secure, especially with projects and businesses which are compliant to them. So I don't know, like, of course, being able to innovate without anybody looking into you is, it's a nice feeling. But at the end of the day, if we want to achieve a lot more people entering the space, I do think that there should be some guidelines which people need to follow.
Yeah, I think this is key, because like for mass adoption, as you're saying, like imagine you go to a non-crypto native person and talk about, okay, I don't know, we have a lot of examples that we can say. I don't know, the most recent one probably, like, I don't know, Anchor Protocol, UST, all this thing. Imagine people putting money into like a stable coin, thinking that it was a stable coin, and one day you wake up and everything is gone. So this is why like regulation in some regard is needed. Of course, as Bill said, we don't need over regulation. We just need a regulation that says, okay, this needs to work. We need some kind of legal framework that that everyone should be following. Of course, this can be an issue for like developers or for some protocols that are trying to do something that is outside the box. But I think it shouldn't be overregulated. That's the main thing. But at least like to avoid this kind of like stable coins or some kind of like this kind of Ponzi's or some like this kind of things. I don't know. You have like a lot of tokens that don't bring any utility to the ecosystem, and people get afraid, because like they come to like a super legit project, and I don't know, the price is down, and they say no, this project is a scam, and maybe they have like 50 people building on the background, and they don't know because they see like all these meme coins, and like it's because people are like, we just need some kind of rules, right, in the ecosystem, but not over regulation. I'm all about regulation, but on a way that it lets you build and it lets you have freedom, right, on what to do, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do agree with that aspect as well. But to be honest, I do have the feeling that they do realize that they cannot overregulate it. Even if they're trying to, it's just the technology is there. There's always gonna be somebody who has thought of something new, and I do think that the time has passed where governments and overall the regulators can completely, because we're speaking about the global market, right? We're not that's one of the beauties about blockchain. It's global, it's not local. Like even if you're based in, let's say, Israel or I don't know, let's say US, at the end of the day, okay, there's regulators which are for the US market, but they don't go together, like they don't, how to say it,
They're not global.
it's
They
the time
cannot
frame
regulate
is
all over the
different.
world.
Sorry.
Yeah. They cannot regulate it all over the world. Like I understand why.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I do think that even people who are writing the regulations and the overall political situation, they do realize this as well. Like, okay, you can ban something, let's say in the US, but I'm quite sure that it's not gonna be banned, let's say in, I don't know, like in Europe straight away, or even in England. So yeah.
And people
Uh,
always, like, it depends if they're like, if this service has, like, for example, KYC, okay, it's harder, but people always find ways. Like you have VPNs, you can always, like, if you want to, like, let's say in the future we have dexes that are banned in some specific region, like crypto natives or crypto people who are like, who know how to manage a VPN, which is super straightforward nowadays. They will just put a VPN and they will just do like their one in transaction or Uniswap or whatever. Like if this is the issue in the future, right? Because I imagine regulators will want to have some kind of KYC on all the services they're regulating. So we will see where DEXs, like what will happen with the DEXs and like with the, but I hope it's all positive, right? So, but
yeah. Okay. Since time has gone quite fast. It always goes fast when you have an interesting discussion. Anyway, there is just to pay attention to one last question, which is actually on the just to end it on a high note. So, hey, Chainport, is there a possibility for your token to get listed on Binance? That's from Jason. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, we just launched our token pretty recently, and we're working on getting it listed on a lot of different platforms. But right now, we have liquidity on multiple chains, on multiple dexes, and Max, I think we have it on one centralized exchange.
yeah,
right,
it's
at the
Gate.
moment?
Yeah, it's Gate for now, but we're in talks with most of the biggest exchanges, but we cannot confirm anything. Like we're in chat with all the exchanges, with all the tier one exchanges. So yeah, but we cannot confirm that Chamber will be on Binance anytime soon.
But we're working on it.
We're always
Okay.
working on we want to be everywhere, right? But
Yeah, of course, everybody wants that. But I'm quite sure that both you and us, at the end of the day, the value proposition is sound, and it's there, and eventually it will get us to all the right places, including Binance.
exactly.
So yeah. Well, I think this maybe should be, the end of our discussion, unless you guys want to share anything else. But overall, for me personally, it was a pleasure speaking with you guys. We do look forward to work with you also in the near future. We do value you as our partners, and we're very happy with what we have done together so far.
Thank you very much, Ivo. It's a pleasure. I know you guys were with Chainport since, I don't know, since day one. Maybe not day one, but day two. So we're really happy to be working with you for so long.
Yeah, that was a really fun discussion. So we really appreciate you guys having us here, and hope to keep working together.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that maybe in the near future, we have quite a lot of developments going out from Credefi. I'm sure from Chainport as well. So we can repeat this sometime in the near future. It was a pleasure. Thanks to all the participants and viewers as well, and for the questions. And if you do have questions, please address them in our social media, both in Chainport and Credefi, and I'm sure our community managers will help you out as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thanks.